All right, what's up, everybody? Time to continue on our bot. So, I wasn't able to stream the past couple of days. I've got a bunch going on with work, but I'm still trying to sneak in work on this. And then once I get a little bit further in the setup, then I'm going to probably start doing some of that live as well. And we'll see how that goes. So, where do we leave off? So, I think it might be helpful if we try to, let's try to just create a to-do list here, because I think I'm starting to lose track of everything that needs to be done. So, yeah. We'll just do a readme MD for now. Eric bot dev. Now I need a add description and usage here later. So some of the other things we need to do is there's still a little bit of refactoring. So let's just hold on. So we'll just create a kind of a list here. So we need to refactor out the logic that depends on our environment variables. So there's a few places where I think like the hue bridge and all of those things are getting stuff from environment variables. And I think we want to pull that in from the config if possible. The other thing we need to do is ensure only modules that are enabled are initialized. Otherwise, you won't be able to run the bot unless you have a hue bridge and for the Philips lights and you want it connected to OBS. And that's not what we want. We want you to be able to enable things. We need to refactor Websocket Logic to accept different types of commands. So this could be alerts, sounds, chat, etc. That way we can kind of create one WebSocket between our bot and our browser view, and we can communicate all of these things over. So we want to, trying to think here. So we want to get it to play sounds. Play sounds. We might need to organize this a little bit based on the bot or the we'll work on that in a second. So have browser source play the sounds. We want to have browser source should display alert animations. Okay. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to do is I want to refactor this here so that we can do that. So let's see. Refactor modules into their own directories. And let's break this up. So refactor bot browser source. So bot. I guess this is a little bit of both the browser. We'll put it here because it's related to that. Okay, so here's our little hit list of things that we need to do. And I kind of want to play with more fun stuff. So I'd kind of like to get into trying to get our browser source to play a sound. But the first thing we need to do is refactor our WebSocket logic. But I think that maybe what we'll do here is refactor out our modules into their own directories. So let's just make sure that we're building right now. Okay, we're building, and now let's start the refactor. So I'm gonna create a directory named modules. We're just gonna move our Hue directory into modules. We're gonna move our Twitch directory into modules, and also our OBS into modules. And this is just going to clean up our top level. So this will give us our top level browser source stuff in web. Here's our individual modules. Media, I have some sounds we're going to work on playing. And then HTTP. Maybe we should move this web directory into HTTP, but we'll figure that out. And then bot is weird because really that should be in modules too, but so this is not going to build. So let's figure this out really quick. Let's see what we're doing. Oh, okay. So we need to let's fix these. So we've got a few places that we're going to try and import them. Whoa. So we need to find where our imports of these things are, but we shouldn't have many of them. Let's see. Message file or directory. This is all Git stuff. Let's see. Let's remove that really quick. And let's see. Okay. Could not read username. Oh, so this is my plugin for ZSH that's giving me Git information. So it looks like my Git information is not set. So I don't know why. That is strange. So we need to do our git config. Git config, but this should be set up. This is weird. All right, global user.name. I swear this is already set up. Oh, we don't want an, yeah, we don't want an equal there. Okay. Why is that still yelling at me? That is so weird. Oh. Cannot find package, command Hue. This is Go yelling at me, and for whatever reason, so it's in our command directory where that's calling out. So this is where we need our modules Hue. All right, now what are we yelling about? Where are you looking for this? Run.go. Okay. Run.go. Modules OBS. Modules Twitch. Whoa, things are different. What do you mean, Rocker Boo? What's different? When was the last time you were in here? Oh, do you mean the code or do you mean my office? Okay, so that refactoring is done. Oh, the office? Yeah, so the main things that have changed are my desk. I was facing this way, and you used to be staring at that behind me. That's where the light was last time. I had these big two 34-inch ultra wides before, and it was just too much. I ended up having to like lean my head to see things that were there. And as I get older, having all of the light in my peripheral vision, not so great. And I would get a lot of glare off that window. So all I did was kind of rotate into the corner and put a single curved screen here. Well, I guess I have another screen here, but not like two long ones. Began with the raid. Welcome, Began. Cash is king. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we are continuing to work on the bot. That's what we're going to play with today. Rocker Boo and I were just talking about how I reoriented my office over the weekend because I got rid of these two monitors that I had and went down to one single curve. The two was just getting crazy with the two 34-inch ultra wides. Yeah, that's where the cool go emote comes from. The mic drop go first from here, yeah. So we just did a little bit of refactoring, and one of the things I want to work on today is I want to get our browser source left ear. What are we talking about? Left ear, it's painful. What are we talking about? Mic is only coming in the left ear. Interesting. Let's see. How about now? Are we coming through both? Okay. Weird. Okay. We just switched to mono. That was super weird. But okay, so what I want to try and do today is last time we were here, your ear forgives me. I appreciate that. Yeah, so that you can remove it. We should get that where it pans from side to side, and then you can start playing with that. All right, so if you weren't around last time, we did a bunch of refactoring, and we turned this into like something really configurable so that you don't actually have to go in and customize the code. What I'd like to do is ultimately push this up to GitHub so that everybody can use it. And the idea would be you can string together your own commands inside just using JSON. And we can say, here's my command, it's enabled. So this one is project is the thing you type after the exclamation point, and then we have an array of actions that it's going to take in order until one fails. So that allows us to create kind of these things here where like alert is going to change is going to call the room hue action. So we kind of have these modules with available actions. These are arguments. This is how you map parameters that you type with the command to a argument that's going to go. And then the next thing, we're going to flash the lights. Yeah, so this is all ZSH inside of WSL. And here's our voice action. So this is the way we're going to do this. And then we'll have this directory of modules. So the only reason you have to write code for your bot would be if you want to introduce a new action that your bot can do. So if everybody's kind of up to speed on that, one of the things we barely started at like 1:30 in the morning the last time that I was streaming was this new HTTP logic. And what this does is it exposes an HTTP endpoint that that OBS is going to load as a browser source. And is it loaded right now? Oh, so no, the bot isn't loaded. Let me check. Is the bot? All right. Let's see here. In theory, if I start the bot, it is down. So let's go ahead and start it now. Let's do it. We're not connecting to the WebSocket. Let me enable that really fast. WebSocket enabled on 442. And all right. Whoa. Oh, EricBot dev run. There we go. Now you should be able to send commands. You should be able to add voice effects. And this would get me super deep for about 15 seconds, and then it goes away. Oh yeah, right. We also added the help commands too. We started working on that last time. Let me know if you hear anything up with the audio. I don't know why it went to the left channel, but if you hear any artifacts or things like that, I did mess around with some of my desk setup and bump some stuff on my audio equipment. The effects are not working. Okay, so let's check. Did we connect to the WebSocket? We did connect to the WebSocket. Let me load up the filters here and see. Let's hit it. Voice, deep. All right. So yeah, so the filters aren't working. It looks like the alert is though, because it looks like a siren is going off in my office right now. So let's figure out what's going on with, oh, no, the voice filter is working. So the command for color, I think, is hue. And I don't think I set blue. Oh, I did set blue. There we go. What do you mean it's clicking but not running? I see the effect added. So if I add this voice. All right, I should have a super high pitched voice right now. Did that work? And it should be off. No. Normal voice. Interesting. Thanks for the follow, OG Jake. So I see the effect added. That is extremely weird. Almost like a pause in the stream. It clicks at the start. What do you mean? Are you talking about like during my normal voice it does that? Or are you talking about that's what happens when we apply the effect? Oh, when it activates the filter. Okay, so maybe the VST plugin isn't working correctly. It is on the right source. And I do see it activate. So here, let's pull this down. So this is my filters. We can see that for the Heil PR40 that the audio filters are here. And if we do a voice deep, you can see the little show icon come on and it'll go off in a second. So it looks like it's doing, oh, not enough pixels. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can activate it myself too, right? So here's deep and I can just leave it on like this. So you're saying that we don't hear any effect to it at all. Nothing. All right. I'm not going to mess with that right now just because that VST plugin has been really finicky and just my normal boring voice, it is a pretty boring voice. So I'll mess with the VST plugin when we're not streaming just because that has been really, really finicky and has crashed OBS on me a number of times. So we're going to get into some new stuff. So I have a bunch of little audio clips. So I came up with this idea. You all are going to love this. So I decided that I really wanted like one of those AIs, like Iron Man has, like Jarvis, to just taunt me. So I had somebody create some voiceover stuff for me so that you all can taunt me with that stuff. I have a couple of them in here, but I have a bunch of them on my laptop. I want to get the bot to play those. So let's see if I go under. You've always wanted Jarvis. Okay, so here we go. I think you have my desktop audio. Let me turn this up so that everybody can hear it. Okay, so what? All right, Groove, you're fine.
Sir, please. It is not only your reputation at stake here. Do be careful.
All right, so we've got that one. And we've got Heisenbug.
It appears that we've detected another Heisenbug, sir. Or rather, we haven't.
So I have a series of these things. And we're gonna get the browser source to play them. That's gonna be our mission. Yeah, so yeah, I just hired a voiceover person to do it. Because that's what I do. I come up with stupid ideas and then spend money on them. Okay. So the first thing we need to do, I think, in order to get this, all nerds are the same exactly. It's like it needs a logo, right? That'll be the next thing. EricBot Dev needs a logo and a website. So I think one of the first things we need to do is inside of our HTTP logic, we've got our WebSocket. And right now the WebSocket is just transmitting text so that we can do our chat. Is the chat showing up on the screen? That just occurred to me. We just might not be able to see it because EricBot Dev is... Oh, it's just not visible. All right, what about now? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there it is. I don't think we can see the text on it. We're gonna have to like set a background or something so that we can see it. Okay. Oh, wait, so you can see the chat just showing up randomly on the screen? Not the main one, not the main one. I have every stupid thing you can spend money on. Me too. I like to collect things that I don't have time to use. It's a bad habit. Okay, so we have this bot running on 8080. Let's see. Is chat working? Did we break it? Okay, so there's our chat. And if I move this, I don't see it inside of the browser. So I'm going to reload that. I think that's probably our issue, is just that the bot wasn't up. Refresh it when it becomes active and refresh it. Let's see. Yeah, so the voice stuff isn't actually working. We're going to have to work on that later. So let's just go into our CSS really quick here and get this displaying. Under web, bot.css, and let's just set the background. We're going to set that to white. And then we're going to have to refresh this browser source. Of course, the lawn people are here today. Interesting. So I don't see the bot showing up inside of here. And I know we had this working last time. So there's basically inside OBS, there's a giant browser source sitting over the top of all of this that should have the same thing you're seeing here showing up on it. Let's change the color of the text to white. and do away with this. And then, I don't know, change that to bold. And then, I don't know, we'll set the font size to large. And now let's see if this works. Oh, there we go. There we go. There it is. It's here. It lives. Oh, wait a second. Where'd it go? Did it? Oh, wait. I think I have it fading out. I can't remember. So there we go. So this is our starting point. So what we're going to start working on now. Yeah, you just have to type more. You stop being so quiet and we'll see stuff on the page. So this is what we're starting with for now. We're gonna actually replace eventually the chat that you see on my screen that's provided by Streamlabs. We're gonna replace that with this at some point. And then what we'll do is also use this to play sounds, and that's what I'm gonna work on right now. Yeah, stop working and type. Priorities, people, priorities. Okay, so let me know if that gets annoying sitting there, if it's blocking the code, but we're just gonna use that. So where's our, all right, I wanna find this logic. Because it's an http.go. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Okay. So we need to find our WebSocket logic. That's in hub. So right now, we're looking for clients that are connecting. We're registering them or unregistering them. We're deleting clients that we can't communicate with. And then we have this sort of way of broadcasting messages to a client. However, if we look at this, not this one. If we look at this, this is just sending a stream of bytes. Move it a little bit more to the right. Okay. So, like, just make it cover up my face. How's that? This might be a little safe area over here to use. Ooh, connection closed. Okay, so there's something there. Let's add that to our to-do list. Browser source. Figure out why OBS keeps disconnecting WebSocket. Make it reconnect. Okay. It's no longer rendering. Yeah, so the connection is closed. Well, no, it is rendering. Maybe something happened when I moved it. All right, so here's the first thought of what I want to do. So right now we have it sending just a slice of bytes. And then when we look at our JavaScript logic inside of web, we are looking for when we get a new message, we're just creating a div in the page, and then we're setting the inner text to whatever that is. And oh, we need to go mono here. Okay. All right, fixed. We've got mono. All right, so the issue that we have now is we need to turn this logic here, instead of a slice of bytes that we just interpret as a slice of bytes, we need to start transmitting JSON back and forth. And the reason for this is that we want to have a series of types of messages. So we might have a chat message, right? And this might contain the user and then their message, right? But then we also might have an alert message. And then we might have the type of alert. And then we might have maybe the user associated with this. This might be like a raid or something like that. You never want to hear you got mono. That is very true. I would be quite disappointed to hear those words. And here's the one that we want right now. So type sound message. I don't know. So we'll work on these. So we might do some embedding here. But for right now, we're going to work on sound message. So for sound message, we want to know the sound that we want to be played. And we'll work with that. So what we need to do now when we broadcast a message is we actually need to take, so this is the inbound messages from the clients. That's them sending it back and forth. But we are actually calling this broadcast message, and this should actually just be broadcast message. And then this is going to fail if we build this, because in our HTTP, we are calling it on line 28, and it's not really a chat message. Well, that is a chat message. We need some tunes. All right, let's call out a genre. We'll get some pretzel rocks going. Okay. Anything with synths. All right, so we're going EDM. Oh, we're going to want to turn that down. All right, let me know how the volume is. I got it quite loud in my headphones. All right, so we've got our broadcast chat message. And that's just going to call broadcast message with bytes. But we want to switch this up. We want to send a message. That's quite loud in my headphones. All right, let's see. And fixed. All right, so we're going to broadcast a message. It's going to be M. And so maybe what we should do is we'll create an interface called a message. And we just want it to have a single method that we call message on that's going to return a slice of bytes. And this is how we know that this is going to be what we want. That will allow us, to change this to a message. I'm not sure why you're yelling at me yet. Can use. All right. Okay. So here now we're gonna change this up because now we want to pass it a this is a chat message. And our chat message, the message itself is S. And then what else did we have? The user. Oh, we don't have the user at that time. Let's find this. were you called? It's in our Twitch module. Okay, so here we're formatting the message already. So we want to get rid of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to pass these things individually. And then we also had the user. Okay, so now we're just refactoring out our broadcast chat message logic here. Rather than just turning the text of a pre-formatted string, we're going to pass all of this data over. Cannot use chat message literal value of type as message value. What? Why can't I put a literal there? Oh. Why are you yelling at me? Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, messages if. Where are you? So we need. Anybody do anything fun over the weekend? Okay, so there's our. Just gonna return nil for now to get this and meet that. That's gonna yell at us because there's also a field. So let's just call this text, maybe. Undefined B. Wait, let's 32. Cannot use M type as type message and argument. Chat message does not implement message. Oh, does not have a pointer receiver. Oh, well, so we've got two ways to solve this. And that's why that yelled at us before. We can pass a reference to this, or we could make it take not a pointer receiver, but we don't know how big the message is, so we'll just assume that we need to pass a reference to it. Alright, cannot use make chan message, type chan message as type chan byte in field value. So this is just leftover refactoring that we didn't get around to. So line 47. Can it use make chan message? Oh, because our hub here defines this. I learned Rust. I'm not sure what kind of personal project to do with that. I'm too much in love with Go. I've been doing some Rust too. In fact, I've been enjoying trying to mess with it for some embedded projects. There's a Rust embedded book I was streaming while I was making my way through it. I have some electronic stuff behind me, you can see. I want to get back into that, but it seems perfect to me aside from C++. Make a game in Rust. That would be interesting. All right, so now, why are you complaining? Undeclared name B. Oh, because we renamed it to M to make sense. Can it use message type as type message and send on line 75? Client go. Wait. All right, so can I use type message as type byte and send? Line 72. Oh, because we have our send channel. Where's our send channel? That's on the client. Okay. Gez is a decent lower level 2D game engine. I've always wanted to build my own emulator. And in fact, if everybody is interested in this, yeah, okay, so I guess this connection closed too. Oh, because I killed the bot, that's why. So there is this thing called Nan to Tetris. It's a book called The Elements of Computing Systems that kind of walks through the Boolean gate logic and how you combine these logic gates to create things like NAND gates and how to assemble those things into a basic arithmetic logic unit, which is a CPU, and then it teaches you kind of how to build your own assembler on top of that, and your own assembly language, and then your own higher level language with a compiler that compiles to that assembly, kind of all the way up to like a mini operating system and virtual machine logic. And I did this book years ago. I didn't implement everything, but there are now Coursera courses for it, and I thought it might be cool to do like a study group where once a week or something like that, we all go through the Coursera course together and complete this thing, and then, you know, we'll implement the compiler and everything in Go or Rust or both. So let me know if that sounds interesting to you. We'll figure out a day that works. All right, where are we at? All right, so now we just need to fix client. So line 75. So we need to fix our broadcast. Wait. All right, here's send. So now we're sending a message. Ooh, more errors. What do we got now? Can't use type byte, type message and send. Line 75. All right, this will get really interesting once we get kind of this refactor done where we can send multiple types of messages. Then we can start getting it to play sounds. All right, so this is, ooh. So this is sending. Just trying to get a feel for this. So this is reading, and then it's trying to broadcast out what it read. Ooh. Okay. So what we're looking at here is this read pump is consuming messages off of the WebSocket that were sent from the client side. So this is what the browser source is sending back to us. And I did not consider that. Ooh. So we're going to have to do some kind of reflection or something here, because we're not going to know what type of message that this sent. So I think what we're going to do for now is we're just going to throw this away. To do, fix this so that browser can send messages. Because right now we have like a one-way communication. For the time being, all of our stuff communicates from the bot to the browser. So I think that we're safe for throwing this away at the moment. But later we may want the browser to tell us that it's like completed its animation or something, right? Or some kind of back pressure for messages or something, I don't know. So we're going to add a to-do there just so we don't forget about it. And then see whether we broke things. All right, line 105. What do we got going on here? So, all right, so this is where we are taking our message and writing it. So we have our message, which is of our message. We need to do a JSON new encoder, and we should be able to pass that W. Declared and not used. And then so what we should be able to do now is do an encoder encode and write the message on the encoder. Okay. So now in theory, our messages, oh, what are you yelling at me for now? Message declared and not used. Oh, wait. It's the message that we want to encode. Okay. So now in theory, we should be able to produce a new type of message that is of type chat message. Those should be going through. Okay, so I guess if we run this, what's going to happen is we're just going to start seeing JSON on the page. Oop, first we need to fix this. Line 113, what do we got going on? Add queued chat messages to the current WebSocket message. Not sure. Did I miss what was happening here before? Is that not what we did? Let's just undo this really quick. What was there? Maybe I didn't take time. Oh. All right, now that was on 113. Yeah, so it was writing the message. Now I'm confused. Oh, okay. So I've figured out what's happening here. So this was right. Our logic can go back here. Now, what this is doing after this is, in case this buffered channel has multiple messages kind of backed up on it, what we're doing is ensuring that we go through and we're producing a new line in between, which should be okay for us. But we need to take this read logic here. So now we're going to receive off this channel, and we're going to use the encoder to encode this message, these messages onto the channel as well. And why are you yelling? Okay, there we go. Ooh. Graphics part is built on GFX, which is lower level. Oh, cool. All right, so we're just gonna fit 256 messages on there, I guess. All right, here we go. EricBot dev run. And then I'm gonna refresh this browser source. Well, I guess if I turn it on and off, that should work. Yep. Okay, so we can see now that we have JSON coming in. So now we just have to move over to the client side and interpret this. And now here's where it's going to get crazy because it's been a while since I've done front end work. So and blue. You're doing front end right now? Is that what you typically do? All right. So I cut my teeth in web development, and I was a senior web developer for Disney for a number of years. But I've kind of moved further down the stack, started doing systems programming and distributed systems programming. So it has been a little while. I think ultimately I'm going to try and use this framework called Svelte for this that I've been looking at, but I don't think we necessarily need that right now. So what I want to do is figure out what kind of the most crude way of parsing this JSON into an object. I know we can eval it. That probably is not the best way. My brother does, so I have a twin brother, and he also does software engineering, and he does more front end work than me. So I might actually bring him on sometime to help me make this better. But for now, we're going to go crude, and we're going to give him the gnarliest thing in the world to help me fix. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is convert the message into an object that we can work with. And then we need to switch on its type. Oh, an web application for garden and landscape design. That's really cool. Are you using like Canvas and things like that? All right, let's open a new window. Let's Google this. I want to see what a better way of doing this is, because eval is just kind of messy. So that's Json.parse. Is that part of newer version of JavaScript now? Nice. All right. So see, that's how long I've been gone. You used to have to use libraries for this stuff. Oh, we got another raid coming in. Thanks for the raid, Florin. What were you working on your channel? Well, we'll give him a second to come in. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We are working on a bot in Go. And right now we are working on communicating between the bot and a browser source so that we can forward in messages like raids like this. Eventually, this message will go into there and we can do some stuff with front end based on it. Might even do some user contributed alerts. Worked on a client project designed to HTML and CSS. Awesome. I was just discussing, I cut my teeth in web development, and I've been gone for about a decade, mostly doing systems programming and stuff like that. So I'm mucking around with front end stuff now so that we can. This bot right now does some of the stuff you see some of the users doing right now, changing the colors of my lights. They can alert the sound. I have some voice effects doing VST plugins that they can apply, which is somewhat broken right now. And I guess what you're seeing right now on here is what we're working on now, our browser source, so that we can send messages between the bot that's running and a browser source that's running in OBS. You want to do what one day? The hue lights or a bot? Thanks for the follow, Florin. Yeah, the lights are really, really cool. Yeah, so if you do an alert, you can also do like alert blue. We can do an alert red. And people have a ton of fun with that. So this this bot is actually going to be open source. So you are welcome to it. I have not pushed it live yet. It's in kind of like this broken state. We just started on it. I don't know how long ago, Rocker Boo, like a week and a half ago. So purple, you can do purple. I don't know what color that would be. I did like a mapping of colors, like word colors to things, but if you can play with the values anywhere between 0 and 65,000. And I don't see it changing. So those are the things that Hue actually accepts, is these numbered values. So we just have to find where purple is. And one of the things I wanted to do was, I have the app here. So we could go into the app and let's see, let's just change the color. We can go up. Somebody's alerting in a different color. Let's see if it'll fix it. So we can manually set purple if we want to as well. And I think that's it. No, so it's actually not RGB, which is really weird. I could not figure out what the magic sauce is for that. It's just oddly 0 to 65,000 is what we have to work with. Why is that not purple? I guess it kind of looks purple. Let's bring it up here. There's pinkish. That's kind of purpley. So the code is not pushed up yet. And that's sort of what we're working on, is some refactoring and everything to get it to a point where people can use it. But here, for everybody who's new, I'll show you what I'm doing. So a lot of people are streaming working on bots, and there's not a lot of open source ones. And I also don't want to have to modify code that's very specific to my bot. I don't want you to have to like gut that out and put your own stuff in. So the way this is designed is there are modules. So like the Hue module, and the Hue module introduces actions. So it registers itself with the bot, and it says here are the actions that are available. We have a room hue, we have a room alert. And then what happens is we have this config here, and this is how we configure our command. So the name of it is alert. That's what you type in the channel, whether or not it's enabled, whether or not you can run it offline. And then we have a slice of actions. So it's just going to execute these in order until one returns an error. So the first one we're going to call the room hue action. These are the parameters. We want the office to turn red. This is how we map the arguments. So position 0, whatever it finds as your first parameter to it, is going to get turned into a hue argument to that action. And then we move on. And so we have a bunch of these. So this one changes my voice, then it has a sleep action for 5 seconds, and then changes it back. Oh, thanks for the bits. But yeah, so I think this is going to make it super extendable. We're going to keep adding actions, and then you don't have to write code. Somebody could write a front end for this to produce this, where you could drag and drop what the bot should do and spit out this JSON, and you never have to like add code and compile to do things. The only time you have to do that is if you want to introduce a new action. So I probably after today, I'll put it up on GitHub if people want to contribute. Do you do much Go, Florin? Not really. It's fairly easy to pick up. I am happy to help anybody learn Go. I've been doing it since 2011, so happy to help. But yeah, and then you can totally help with the front end code, which is what we're working on now. We're starting on this HTTP logic to introduce a browser source. And so right now we have this spitting out JSON to the browser, and what I'm trying to work on now is the best way to parse this JSON and figure out the individual type of message that this is, so that we can start handling chat messages with sound messages slightly different. Check out web components. I'm not sure what you mean, Rockerboo. It's been so long since I've done front end, I might as well just have never have done it. I think so much has changed. Okay, so it looks like we can do a Json.parse on this and pass it. Wait. No. This is going to be where our messages are. This is where we're iterating over them. And oh, these just like reusable components that can be used. So one of the things I actually want to use for this, because I've been looking for a reason to use it, is Svelte. Svelte just looks like ridiculously cool. I've done some React in the past, but Svelte looks really cool. It looks like it has some animations and stuff like that in it. So you do React. Awesome. Yep. That's what I've used in the past. It's been a few years, but that is what I've used in the past. But I've been itching for a reason to do this, and it feels lightweight enough for at least what the bot needs to be able to do. Okay, so here's one of the things we need to do. One thing that I am concerned about is right now we're going to have these things. I don't want to have to implement our own stuff. Go away, go away, go away, go away. Okay. So right now we have these messages, but I think what we're going to have to do is right now we don't have a way of determining what type of message this is. So we're either going to need to add a message type, like create one giant. What if we did that? What if we nested these? So we can have our own type as, I don't know, Websocket message or something. We'll come up with a better name, but follow me on my logic here. So if we have this, then inside of it, we could have a message, and this would be anything that did this. Now here, we could pass a string, and then we would know what the embedded message type is based on this. So where's our HTTP logic? So we can try this really quick with this broadcast chat message. Really what we want here is you can run web components in React or whatever. They get out of this custom tag. Some engines don't like it though. Yeah, so it appears that browser stuff is still finicky. It feels like it is much better than when I had to support IE6. That is a pain that nobody should suffer. So we want this broadcast message method. Oh, that's broadcast message. Wait. This is the chat message. So we actually want this not to be an interface now. We want this to be our actual WebSocket message. I still don't like the name of that, which means we need to go through and change all of this. This is now going to be a WebSocket message, and we're going to have to find in a client library too. Yeah, we broke a lot of stuff. Okay, so cannot use type chat message, just type an argument to hub broadcast message. Where did we go wrong? Let's just check it out. Line 32. What are we saying? It says we cannot pass a type pointer to a chat message. Oh, right, because we changed this now. So what we actually need to do is do a web socket. And then inside of it, that's what this is. Right? Ooh, what did we break? Oh, and we need a reference. Not there. See, I'm not even sure what that means, like run React in web components. I'm going to have to do some research on that. It's crazy how fast you fall off when you're out of a particular area. All right, can I use, this is on line 35. Can I use, oh. Now our issues look like they are inside of our hub. Whoa. Let's get a new. All right, so line 52 of hub. Oh, right, because our hub wants that interface, so we actually want WebSocket message here. And now 77. Oh, wait a second. Oh, because we need to change the client now. Okay, so this is trying to read, where's our client? All right, now our client can take WebSocket messages instead. And now what are we left with? Oh, just where we initialize it. Okay, now with any luck, if we restart this, and I'm going to refresh the browser source. Well, I guess if I hide it and show it, I think I have it refreshing when it becomes visible. So let's do that. All right, hit me with some text. Testing. Type. Sweet. So we don't have a type, but we have the nesting. Perfect. This is what we are looking for. This will do nicely. So the one thing we need to do now is Oh, I have an idea. I have an idea. I have an idea, everybody. So here's what we can do. We can make everybody supply this, right? And then it's arbitrary and it could be wrong, right? Or what we can do is inside of this like broadcast message here is we could change this back to just the interface. So we could change this back to just a message and then we could wrap it ourselves. So I think I like that. I think that's going to make a cleaner design. So we create the WebSocket message, type to do, and then we provide the message that they gave us, and then we pass ours. I like this. So if we go back to this, we can get rid of all this crap. Okay, so what are you doing with the slash ends? Did you find something to break? All right, so here's what we need to do. Now, this is to do, but what we can do is we can use the reflect package. And we can use the reflect package to ask it what its type is. So we need a reflect value. I remember it's been a while since I've done this. Oh, no, we can do a reflect type of. That's right. That's right. So we can come up here and say t equals reflect dot type of. Then we're going to pass it the message. This is going to give us a type. And then if we look at this type, we can ask for its name. And that's what we're going to do here. And now we have magic. Now, all of the calling logic does not need to care about this sort of protocol or API that we're creating between the back end and the front end to the WebSocket. It just needs to know that, hey, you can send any type that has a message function on it or method that produces a string of bytes. And we're going to convert that to JSON. However, I think it could break. So yeah, we're probably going to need to return an error inside of our write logic where we try to marshal it to JSON. But all right, so let's run this again. Eric bot dev. Ooh. Run. And now let's refresh this really quick to make sure that works. Okay, so we have a new browser source. Type is nothing. What did we miss? It doesn't work because our type is an empty string. So something's not working there. Because we should have grabbed the type of the message here and assigned type to name. Yeah, it would have to be if you pass the message data to another command, I would think. What do you mean, McCann? You all are going to be so disappointed when I turn this into needing points to run that stuff. All right, so let's see what's going on here. I'm going to print this out. I want to see what this is returning. Ooh. So it does print out a pointer to a chat message, but that's not what we want. Ooh. We might want string here. Let's give this a go. Wow, it's been a while since I've done Go reflection. Give free access for bots. They deserve a chance. Well, no, so The thing that I want to do really is I want to introduce kind of channel points that it's like my own economy. Oh, I just realized this. Thanks for the follow, Tuki Tuki. So I wanna do channel points where we can give each other points, I can give you points, things like that, and I've got some other ideas for that. But the reason I want to do this is some of these things, like the voice effects, can get really annoying if overused. So really the point thing is just to prevent you from abusing. Things like flashing the lights and things like that will probably be like a low point value, but something like changing the effect on my voice maybe a bit more so that people can't just keep doing it over and over until everybody disconnects because they can't tolerate it anymore. All right, so let's see. Let's see what a it's still saying an HTTP chat message. What are we looking for here? I think we want to get the value of it. I mean, I'm okay with it saying HTTP chat message. Let's get the pointer out of there because I don't really care about that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this. We want to get the value of it that's at the pointer. So we need it's like value of. Yeah. So we want to reflect value of this interface. That's going to be a V. That's going to give us a reflect.value, which has a bunch of methods on it. Oops. OIC, was that... What other value would it be? Oh, so it actually can be a bunch of things. So the reason that we're implementing all of this is what we did the last stream when it was late at night and we were working on this was we just created the WebSocket that allowed the bot to communicate with the browser source that's inside of OBS. But all it did was transmit a stream of bytes separated by new lines. And then on the browser side, we just took that split by new lines and then displayed the chat messages. We're getting creative with the changing the scene. So that's what we did last time, but now they're not all chat messages. So we need to introduce logic to differentiate between messages so that the browser knows this is a chat message. It should go in the chat box. This is an alert message. We should play the RAID alert thing or a sound alert. So that's what we're doing. So we've got, so we should be able to get the type off of that. Actually, I mean, we should be able to just do this. Is it LM? Oh, I always forget this. All right. Oops, no. We need to build it again. You sort of want a soft alert. So there is another alert. There is... Well, let's run this and see what happens really quick. And then we'll... It's still an HTTP pointer to an HTTP. Is it LM? I always forget this. It has been so long since I've done reflection and Go. Yep, there we go. It's LM. All right, so that just gets us... We know it's a pointer. It has to be in order to meet the interface. So I think we're going to go with this. What we could do is we could strip that. If we really wanted to, we could split on the period and do that. But I think it's okay to do this. So this alert is actually something that's provided by Hue. There's two separate ones. what was our hue library? Let's look at that really quick. Nope. That's right. That's what we want. So if we go check out the docs for this, we can see that there is an alert. So we have two types of alerts. So none, the light is not performing an alert effect. Select, the light is performing 1 breath cycle, and then L select is 15 seconds. Link you to the library? Sure. I'll drop that in the chat. Okay, so what we could do if you wanted is, let's try this out. We'll go into our config here really quick. Where's my config? Right here. So we have the alert, and we're telling it the type is else select. Let's just change it to select and see what happens. Oh, look at that. Our bot is working. I see it on the screen where it's showing us http.chat message. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so now we should be able to do, there you go. There's just a single alert. So maybe we create 2. Let's do it. So that will just be, where's my config? Okay. Oh, we're already in it. So we could take this whole thing here and copy it and make another one. And we'll call this one, I don't know, alarm. And then the alarm can be else select. Yeah, so we could do that. If we wanted to make it where it flashes at some interval, you could add, there's a sleep action that I created, right? So we could do this, right? We wanted 2 blinks. Wait, we could come into our alert here. Where is it? Okay, so we flash it. Then we wait, I don't know, 1 second. And then we flash it again. So we could totally do something like that. There's no concept of loops or anything in here yet. So let's reload it. So now we should be able to do an alert. There you go. So now we've got a blink and then 2 seconds and then we blink again. And this is kind of the fun thing about it, right? Is as we introduce more actions, you can come up with all of the commands in the world. You know, we'll add some things for doing like conditions, so that conditions have to be met before it'll run. We'll add some stuff for like rate limiting and things like that. You can also set the brightness. We don't have an action for that yet though. So I forget what. So we can do that too. Where is BRI? Okay, so we could do that. So this is how simple it is to do things in here. So we can come into Hue, and what we want to do now is we'll just quickly add this. This is all of our stuff. So we're just going to implement that's a helper. We need some docs too. We also need tests, go doc, comments. Okay. Where were we? All right, so in here, we're going to add a function. We are going to call it brightness. What does this take? A uint 8. We might need to return. Yeah, we're going to return an error. And then we're going to wrap this in a, if you look, we have sort of this action method. And this is the brightness action. And this is how the bot calls it. And they're pretty straightforward. So in here, wait, you can see it basically just parses the arguments that we need. So thanks for the follow, Eskajin. So let's just copy this because this is going to be very similar to what we're going to do. So this is where we're parsing the parameters that are coming from the user. Oh, look at that. I forgot that in the alert. Oh no, I didn't make it a user parameter, but we could have made alert take 2 parameters instead of just 1. Yeah, I mean, we could do that too. We can come up with a way to add a multiplier to commands. And maybe what we do is actually do it this way. So we do like a 7 alert red. Sort of Vim style, where we put the multiplier first. Okay, so we want to check for brightness. That's going to be our argument. Brightness is required. Oh, we're going to have to parse it though. So let's we've got kind of the same logic, right? We're just going to steal this really quick. So what we're going to get from the user is a string, and we want to parse the uint, and this is going to be b a dot args brightness base 10 8 bits. We're going to return an error. That's just yelling at us that we're not using it. Brightness. Because what this is going to give us is a uint 64, so we still need to type convert that to a uint 8. And okay. And now we can call our brightness. We might need to do some renaming here, but, and then we can pass it our brightness. Now all the compiler warnings should go away. And now inside here, now here's where we get to the good part, where we need to actually call our brightness. BRI context. That's what we want. Bridge. BRI context. No, that's on a group. So we need to get the group first. Is that only available on the group? Context. Okay, so it's on a group or... So we need to do the same thing that we did for our alert. We need to get the groups first. Do we not have a way of getting the group already? Oh yeah, so we're just we just have this method here that we're using to get the group. All right, so we really need to All right, we're gonna create a helper method here. And this is gonna return back a Hugo group, okay, or an error. And then we should be able to just move all of this here. And then this logic here actually is going to go in here. So we're going to call get group and pass it the group name, the group type, because we found out that you can have the same name across multiple types. So this can be an actual grouping. It can be a room. So we're already checking that. And then we don't care about anything else. We got some 8-bit stuff going on. All right, so error. And then if okay, so now we've got the shared logic. Here we need to return. And then here, we return the opposite. We're going to return back our group and no. What are we alerting me for? Are we just messing with me? Or did I break something? Are we... Oh. It's always going to return back a value. Interesting. Oh, it turns back a slice of group. All right, so let's just do this var G Hugo group. We'll set one here. And all the error cases, we'll just return that. It's going to get shadowed here, so that's fine. Perfect. Yeah, I did set it up where you can alert with a color. Okay, so now we should be able to reuse that logic. Where's our new function? Brightness. Okay, so let's... Oh, we need a group name now, because we need to know what we're setting the brightness to. So really this is a group brightness. So this is really group brightness action. And this is group brightness. And then we need to look because in our group alert we also had the type. And then I guess because we also have this logic, we're going to need the group name. Oh, this is getting messy. Yeah, so I do have a small mapping list. So the API itself actually only supports numerical range. I just have a map up here for some that I've explored. So if you all are playing with the lights while I'm coding and you find a color you want, just tell me the color and what we want to name it, and I'll put it in here. Okay, so we've got this group brightness, but that's not going to work because, as I said, we need to differentiate between the types because we have a zone, we also have a room, and what are we talking about? So in the alert, I have separate ones for room and zone. So we might have to do the same. So we need a room brightness. Well, yeah, we need a room brightness. And here we will call our get group logic. We're going to pass it our group name and our group. No, we don't need the type here because we know what it's going to be. So this is going to be room. Is that it? Yep. If not, we're going to set g dot. We should really be using contexts here. We'll do it, even though I don't have any sort of timeout on it. Wait. No, we need to do a get. No. What does that return? Okay, so yeah, we need to do a context dot background. Oh, we're trying to find magenta. Yeah, I've tried to find something for it, and the best I could come up with was at some point I can probably take the hue app and find the color I want, and then we could just create a command to ask it what the current color of that light is. So we definitely could implement that, because this also has commands where we can run them from the command line. So I can do a ericbot dev hue list lights. No, I think I changed it. Ericbot dev hue minus h light list. So the bot command also has the ability to run things itself. So we can put tools in there, things like that. So my thought was we could introduce a command to that that would allow us to just ask, hey, what color is this? Did we find a color? Is this one we like? Do we want to map it to something? All right, so here's our room brightness. And we're just going to copy this. Whoa. What are we complaining about here? Oh, because we don't return anything. Does this return an error? It does. So we're just going to return whatever the result of that is. Now we're going to copy this. And we're going to change this to zone brightness. And that's because I have we can talk to all of the lights at once as the room, but then we have independent zones. So currently I just have two, which are my ceiling lights and what I'm calling accent lights, which are everything else. There's some lights here next to my desk. There's these ones that you see. There's all those ones up there. And I'm actually going to add some under the desks too. I think that'll be cool. And we'll start talking about them as separate zones. Those lights, actually, the ones that go under the desk, will probably show up today. All right, so now we have these functions. Ooh, undeclared group brightness. Oh, wait. So this is actually... What did I do for the other one? For the actions. I just sort of want to keep a consistent theme. I made separate ones. for room and zone. Okay, so we'll do the same thing here. It's a little bit duplicate code, but so we'll call this the room brightness action. Room brightness action. And we need the room that is required. And this needs to be our a.args room. I guess I didn't really need to implement these individually. I could have just called it group brightness. Yeah, let's just do that. We're going to call this group brightness, group type. We'll change the other one later. Group brightness, that's our group name. It is of type room. This took a little bit longer than I was expecting to. All right, so there's our room brightness action. And now we can copy this whole thing. And then we can make it a zone version of it. With literally the only thing being changed is this. But it'll expose a better API. All right, are we building? Line 129, we're missing a return. Oh. And we built. Purple-ish. Okay, so thanks for the follow, Lord Apples. I'm just like, I haven't been paying attention to these. I turned off my alerts, didn't I? There we go. Now the alerts are back on. I had turned them off because the last couple times I streamed, I got hit by follow bots. All right. So now the only thing we need to do to expose this is up here in our actions, we need to register these. So now we have zone brightness. There's our zone brightness action, and now we need our room brightness. Okay, so now we can go into our config and add a new one. I guess let's just copy the hue as our starting point. And we're just gonna use a brightness here. And we're just gonna talk to the room right now. We'll add stuff later so that you all can decide what you want to mess with individually. But for now, we're just going to talk about the room, and the first argument is going to be the brightness. And we might need to like look for what the valid ranges are. But if all of that worked, then all of you can go crazy. Let's see. Brightness 0. No? Ooh, was that me? Invalid syntax. I don't know. Brightness, I don't know. 25. Value 1000 out of range. It looks like we're slightly delayed. Oh, well, you're also trying to do hue brightness. It's just brightness. Right, so we're only in a uint 8, right? So that would give us, let's see. Should be 255. Yeah, so 0 and 255. So, okay, yep, so that works. We're working. All right, so there is something that I want to do though, because it seems like even commands are coming in as chat messages. Let's display this. I want to get those off the screen. So let's try this really quick. Yeah, so we still have that as a chat message. So let's go ahead and clear that out really quick because we don't want that broadcast. So let's find where that logic is really quick. It's wherever broadcast message is being called from. Oh, that's right. It's in our Twitch module. So Twitch, where are you at? Wait a second. Line 47. Oh, because we're broadcasting everything. So we only want this to broadcast here. So if it is not a command, does not start with an exclamation point, then we want it to go as a chat message. So that's fixed. How are we looking on time? All right, so are we ready to see whether we can get this thing playing some sounds? Because we now have everything we need in place, I believe. So the next thing we need to do is, I think we should just leave that JSON output there for now because it helps us debug, but later I think that we're going to create the box that shows the chat messages separately. So let's go under our bot, and we have some of our own actions in here already. Turn on the bot. All right. Bot is on. So here's what we're going to do next. We're going to create our own action for play sound. All right, and then we're just going to add a check here really quick. I think what we should do here is we need the name of the sound. That's going to be required. I know we don't use that yet, so you all just raving in there. Okay, so this is going to take our sound. It's going to make sure that we provide that. The other thing we probably need to do though is I want to look in the, for now we're not going to do that, but let's add a to do here. Check media directory to ensure sound exists. So we want to add a check later for that, but for now we're just going to trust that it's okay that it doesn't show stuff. So now what we need to do HTTP library. Oh, it's called broadcast chat message. That's not what we want. We're just going to copy this for now. Oh, because I guess we can go straight to the hub. Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, we need to wrap that. So we're just going to create a broadcast message for now. I guess we'll do that. So that's the user. Oh, that's going to be a message. I think we might go through and rename some of this stuff. It started to alert before it changed the color. I don't think any of that was running asynchronously, though. Is that like left over from other people doing things? Like changing color and things like that at the same time? So we might need to actually set something up where there's a delay when we're chaining action, or we're chaining commands, so that one command completes before the next starts. What's probably the wrong order? I mean, we can look. This was in alert. Let's see. This is brightness. That's the alarm. Alert. Now we change the hue to red, or whatever argument it is. Then we call alert. Then we sleep for 1 second, and then we do it again. I wonder whether somebody else's like color is stacking with that. Okay. Where were we? Okay, so this is just a generic broadcast message. Oh, that's right, we're in action.co. Okay, so in here, we need to play, we need to pass a play sound message. So we're gonna have to create our own type. Did I even implement that in the other things? I don't think I even implemented that, did I? In hub.go. Yeah, it just returns nil. I mean, because really, well, we marshal it anyway. So what is the purpose of this aside from requiring people put that on there? Thinking. So I'm just trying to figure out, do we always need a user? Are all messages communicated between the bot and their user triggered? I don't know. But this is useless. There's no point in this existing on here. So, I mean, we can use this as a placeholder, I guess. Let's delete this, and then that will be an empty interface. Pressing return. This should compile. That's declared not used. That's fine for right now. So what I ended up doing was we're just going to use an empty interface here, and we might add something to it later. We're just using it as a placeholder, so we don't need to update all of our code. Okay. Where were we? Where were we? All right, we wanted a place sound message, so Okay, so there's that. And we want broadcast message. I think we still had the user on there, right? Did we? No. Does the WebSocket message have a user on there? I'm kind of debating on whether or not the WebSocket message should have a user on it. Should we assume that? I don't know. I'm going to assume that if you want the user information passed, you're going to use it as part of your message. And I still haven't figured out how we're going to make the front end modular yet, but we'll figure that out just like we did last time. Okay, so we're just going to do the play sound message. And the sound is going to be a.args sound. Line 39. Oh, struct. No arguments in call to broadcast message. Wait, what? Oh, I thought I removed that. Okay. Are we ready for some sound action? S declared not used. What? What are you talking about? Oh, because we don't really need that. Oh, well, I guess we could use that here too, right? All right, we're building. So now we have this play sound message that we should be able to pass in. Now, if we do that, we should see a message type of, let's just run it. If I'm right here, then if we do, a sound, oh, no, because we don't have anything. So we need to add it to our config. This is going to get pretty messy. All right, let's. I think we're going to need to build a front end for this. So this one is going to be called sound. And this is going to be, was it bot? Where's the sleep? Yeah, okay. So this is bot sound. I guess we don't need that. And then we need our arg map, right? This. No args, but our arg map says whatever the first thing you pass in is the sound. That's enabled. Oh, we didn't register it. So the other thing we need to do is come up here in our register module, and we need to add sound. Play sound action. Play sound? Play sound is probably better. Okay, so now in theory, if we do the sound command, we should at least in our browser source up here, we should see the new type of message. So let's try that out. Sound testing. Oh, it looks like our connection's closed, so let's just refresh that browser source. Boom. All right. Now we have that. Okay, so now we just need the front end side. Excuse me. Okay, so now on the message, we did the json.parse. So we should be able to do a if message.type equals bot.play sound message. And then we can do an else if. What was it before? Is it twitch.chat? http.chat message. So this will be the start of us handling separate messages. We'll clean it up, but we just kind of want to test this out. So now in theory, if it's a bot.sound message, we should be able to hit this logic. If it's a chat message, then we will append it to the logs. So let's see. What are we going to do here? Actually, let's do this really quick. Play sound. We'll just make sure that this logic is working the way we want before we get overly complex. Oh, and we need that print line. Where is that? Where are we printing that? It's in hub. There we go. Okay, let's test it. Oh, I guess we didn't really even need to build this. We're running. Let's refresh the browser source. And then let's see what happens. Sound testing. So that did not work as expected. Oh, I bet you the JavaScript is cached. Let's just open the source up. I've got another monitor above me. Well, it's technically a big TV because I knew we were going to have to do this. So let's refresh the cache. And then let's see what happens. There it is. Play sound. Okay, so that works. So now we just need to get rid of all of this. And we're going to, what's it? Var sound equals audio, right? Oh, we're going to need to fix something really quick. So where's our HTTP logic? We have this serve file here. So we're also going to need to do media. We're going to serve this from the media directory. So this is basically anything that comes in after /media. We're going to strip that prefix off of it, and then we're going to look in this local directory media for that sound. And that's where we're going to serve it from. All right. So this should work. All right. Now we just need to do a /media. And then I guess we're just going to do message.sound. Ooh. Okay, so we need to do another to-do in here because you all are creative. So, okay, so this should fix it. Ensure path traversal is accounted for. Exactly. Rockerboo knew where I was going with this. So checking that oh yeah, because we also, yeah. Freaking hackers in here. Okay, so let's see. So, all right, so this should append message sound to /media. Then we should have sound, and then it's sound.play. And then we refresh this. Let's see, sound, taunt. Let's open up our developer tools and see. Oh, right. We didn't add the extension. Good call. I think the ones that are in there right now are WAV files. So let's refresh. That's not working the way I'd expect it to. Let's just do a console.log real quick. Oh, whoa, why is that showing up there? So this is definitely cached. Ooh, unexpected end of JSON input. So that did print that out. So is something going wrong here? Line 28. So something we're sending is not valid JSON. So what is it? All right, let's try this really quick because I want to ensure that this is going to work. So let's just do. We'll try it here. Sound equals audio, and we'll, oh, undefined, undefined. So that's there. And I actually don't like the casing, so let's do this too. While we're here, we're gonna clean some stuff up. We're gonna add some tags here. Type. It's just weird in JavaScript to have all these be capitalized. We're gonna okay, so the question is, what happened there? What happened there? So now we can come in here and we can change this, because that is just ugly. All right, let's see. We're gonna listen on the network too. Let's clear all this. Unexpected end of JSON input. Why? So something got messed up here. What got messed up here? Because this seemed to be working. So what happened? What happened? Yeah, let me try something real quick. I want to see whether this works. So we should have media and taunt.wave. Oops. All right, so that's really low. Turn that up. But interestingly, I don't hear it on the desktop audio that you all hear. I just need to turn this up. Let's see.
Sir, please. It is not only your reputation at stake here. Do be careful.
There we go. So that logic will work. So we just need to change that code here to be new. Now we just have to figure out our two issues. One is why that's not working. This parsing. Let's console.log this. But I think it might actually be an additional iteration. So actually kind of what I want to do is just do this. And let's just look at the entirety of it. Wait, new. Did I say new twice? Oh, I did. Good catch. Okay, so oh yeah, so this is an empty string. Why is it an empty string? Yeah, JavaScript does not have types. So yeah, it looks like that's empty though. So it looks like we should be able to just do a quick if. Oh no, we just have to do what? Messages I dot length greater than 0. I'm not sure how we ended up with an empty one on there. Oh, we got Microsoft Developer coming in here. Awesome. So we're working on my Twitch bot right now. We're trying to figure out some issues we're having. Thanks for the follow, Cecil and Kelvin. So we're doing some front end work on this bot that I have. If everybody wants to show off some stuff, feel free to have at it with my hue lights here. But we've got a bot we're working on. We can control the hue lights. We can control OBS to change scenes on me and add effects to my voice. And right now we are working on a browser source so that we can communicate between the bot and my actual screen here. And one of the features we're working on at this very moment is how to get the bot to tell the browser to play a sound. And we're doing a little bit of debugging now. So I think we figured out our issue with JavaScript yelling at us. So now we have to figure out, will this play the sound? Are you going to play? So we didn't get our error, but we also didn't get this console log either. So what happened? Rocker Boo, you broke it. It's your fault, man. It's your fault. I'm blaming you. All right, so all of this is loading.
Sir, please. It is not only your reputation at stake here. Do be careful.
Okay, so that works. So why are we not playing? Is the message length? Is that wrong? This could be wrong. I don't think it's an onload thing though, because we had all of this working until I added this sanity check here. And so I think we broke something with that. Okay, so here's our chat message coming in. We see that. And so let's try. Hello, hello. We're working on our bot here. What was everybody doing over on Microsoft Developer? What was going on? Okay, so. All right, so we receive a message that is 89 bytes, and then we receive one that's 59. So, do we see them on here? So those are our chat messages. Well, let's hide that for on here for now. Let's just work in this browser. So did we play the sound? A Twitch tracker app with Python. What were you tracking? No, so this should play. So console.log chat message. We broke something. Testing chat message. That works. Oh no, so we're not triggering that comparison. Did we break everything here? Let's see. Blue. Okay, that works. Oh, that's right. We changed that to alarm. Now we can keep going. So it looks like it's our comparison logic because it's hitting. We see these console logs here, but we don't see these. Its length would be greater than 0, but we're not getting here. So I don't really do a debugger in the browser. Like I said, I haven't done front end development in a decade. So if there's a debugger built into Edge or Chrome, you'll have to walk me through that one. So there's something happening in this logic here. Are we getting into this logic? Let's refresh this. You're talking about just writing the word debugger in the code? Does that work? Whoa, if that works, holy crap. Everybody's got it easier these days. All right, let's test it. Paused in the debugger. Sweet. All right, we're going to just continue. Font is going to be really small for everybody. So here's our event. Got to type. Oh, we didn't. Did we not recompile after we did the JSON tags? I don't think we did. So that might be our issue. We changed our JSON tags here so that we lowercase these names. I don't know if we recompiled after we did that. Let's do this. All right, let's check this. Yep. Okay, so that was probably our issue. Let's remove this debugger out of here. I turned off our tunes so that we could hear the sounds. All right. Okay, 404 not found. So we're still getting an undefined. Let's figure out why. So the sound was there. So dot sound. Oh, I'm willing to bet this is our issue. I think we're going to have to do this. And we try again. Taunt. Why are you undefined? We see it in here. Oh. It's nested. It's message dot message because this top level is the WebSocket message. We need the underlying message off of it, and we need the sound off of that. Details, details. All right, there we go.
Sir, please. It is not only your reputation at stake here. Do be careful.
All right, and now we should be able to also, is it Heisenberg?
It appears that we've detected another Heisenberg, sir. Or rather, we haven't.
Yes. Thanks for the bits, Clarkio. So now we have all of these. I need to... Is alert not working? There we go. Okay. So, Clarkio, you've got a crazy bot working on your channel as well, right? So I'm building this bot, and it's going to be completely open source, and we're designing it in a manner where you won't have to modify code to build your own stuff. So it's basically going to have a collection of modules. The modules provide actions, and then you have a config file that allows you to map a command, which is the thing people type in chat, to a list of actions that get executed in a row. And we're just continuing to add them. And then maybe we can build like a UI in front of this. So as an example, one of them that I have for adding effect to my voice, we enable this filter. This arg map here is basically, these are the arguments that are being provided to this action. This arg map says basically positional. So the first position, the first parameter you pass in chat gets passed as the filter name in this list of arguments so that we can make commands that have arguments. Then our next action is we sleep for 5 seconds and then we put it back. Yeah, Rocker Boo is taunting me with the voice effects. He's even adding them as sound effects in other people's channels. So yeah, so I like this because this kind of makes like a reusable framework for people to use for their bots. So right now, thanks for the follow, Musical Bookworm. So what we're working on now is I've got all of these freaking browser sources for like alerts and chat and things like that. I want to put all of that in here where the bot handles that. It's going to communicate over WebSocket. We can play sounds. We can do one of the next things we can do now that we have this is we can now start looking at the Twitch API for, when I have a subscriber or when I have a follower, I can relay that to my browser source through WebSocket and then do my own custom thing. And one of the things I'd like to do is start giving viewers the ability to contribute their own alerts, and then we can randomize who's alert. And I will just provide you with JavaScript and HTML and CSS, and you come up with what you think the animation should be. All right, where are we going from here, folks? We've got playing sounds. I suppose I could transfer over more of those Jarvis taunts, but can I add that sound? Can we export that?
Yeah, it's super creative.
It sounds like helium. All right, let's see, how can we extract this from here? What would be a good way to do this? Well, you already did it, right, Rockerboo? Oh, YouTube download. All right. Let's see. Oh, Stupak did. Oh, go to my clips page. Let's see. Inside of Twitch. Let's see. I'm gonna move this over here. Let's see. Clips page. Let's see. Clips page. Oh no, I don't want my channel. I want my creator dashboard. And content, clips, and wait, where is it? Oh, there it is. And download. Oh, it's an MP4. Okay, so now we're gonna have to figure out the difference between right now these are waves, and the one that we're downloading is going to be an MP4. This is it. That way you can taunt me forever, Rockerboo.
Yeah, it's super creative.
So this is just a VST plugin I have installed as a filter. Okay, so we just want the sound for that, though. We don't want the video. We're going to have to break out FFmpeg. It might just work, but I mean, why not just do it this way? We had to convert it anyway. So in theory, go source, ericbot dev, media. All right, so this is where we stuck it. So we should be able to take this input, that MP4, AC2 is fine. We can extract it to a WAV file. We can solve both problems at the same time. Super creative.wav. Did that work? Perfect. Now we can remove that and that. Make my bot do it? Oh, like to go through and pull it? Yeah, we could do that. All right, so now we should be able to... I think this browser source is still going, right? So we should now be able to do sound super creative.
Yeah, it's super creative.
There you go, Rockerboo. You can now taunt me on my own channel with it. I'm never gonna live this down. That was the night, one of the nights we had this stuff being implemented, and everybody was clipping me saying funny stuff as the effect was on my voice. It's still disappointing that that's not working, because we're supposed to be able to do voice, and I see the filter applied, but it's not actually adding the effect. So I think the VST plugin's not starting up. That's our issue, but we'll get it sorted. All right, so next step, we can do some refactoring, or we can start looking at how we can ask Twitch about alerts and subs so that we can handle those. I'm kind of leaning that direction. And then the next time I stream, I'll have more of the sounds. I can't even remember. I have like 10 or something like that I had created about different things. And we'll add all of those to the library. Channel points. Oh, you mean we're talking about the currency? Yeah, we could do that. So one of the first things we're going to have to do, though, is we're going to have to store the data so that we can keep track of stuff. And I have two thoughts on these, and I'll share my opinion. So we could reach out and we could store it in a database, MySQL, Postgres, just about anything. Or we could embed the database as like a key value store and then keep it locally. I guess SQLite would be another option too. I kind of want to use it locally. I want people to just be able to start up the bot without installing anything, which also gets me leaning more towards like embedding a key value store inside of it. Then you won't have to install SQLite. We won't have to use Cgo, things like that. What's the one that Ben Johnson did? BoltDB. Database of databases. We just want the GitHub. Give me the code. Okay, so we should only need to install it if we want to run tools and stuff like that. But what's archived? So here we can just do whatever, a .db file. Oh, this page, yeah. So we can just embed this inside of our application, and then we open it with timeout, and then we actually have these transactional updates that we can do. and we can do them in batch. And where's the sort of, okay, so here's the bucket logic. So we're going to, we create a bucket. We can create a bucket of like our users and things like that. We should be able to marshal and unmarshal this stuff if we wanted to be able to store it in like a JSON format that we could kind of extract back into our type. But yeah, so we can just push bytes onto it at that particular key. So this sets answer to the key 42. Wait, this is in my bucket. The value. Okay, so this is us taking answer, turning it into a slice of bytes, and then we're calling get to get that key to produce the value. Okay. And we have auto incrementing and iterating over the keys. Yeah, so this should serve our purpose fairly well. Because we don't, let's just think this through really quick. We don't need a lot of data. We just, yeah, so this is a file. It does produce a file. So we don't need a ton of data though. We want to track our users, preferably by ID. We want to track the number of points they have. We might want some sort of cooldown that we track for the user, and we can cache it in memory for speed. And the cooldown would really just be so that a user can't send too many commands too quickly and just really annoy everybody. And I can't think of much else that we'd want to store there. I mean, we might store a list of commands that somebody has access to so that we could remove their ability to run a command in the event that they're abusing it. But I think that's about it. So I guess we can get started with this. Let's just, like we've done in the past, let's just spike something out really quick, and then we'll clean it up once we sort of know what we're doing. Maybe we'll go into our command directory and we'll just create like a new command here that we'll use for doing this. So we'll just call this db or something, right? Oh no, that's a sub command. We'll do it on run, just on startup. This is where we'll connect. We need to do it before Twitch run though. Yeah. To do, start working on database. All right. We're going to have to go through, we're going to have a cleanup day, folks. At some point, we're going to have a cleanup day. We're starting to get some cruft in here and lots of to-dos. So, but for now, onward with the database. We're going to need to open our file. And then this probably needs to live somewhere in the bot. This needs to live in the bot. Because we're going to want to communicate with it. For now, we're going to put this here. But so now we have access to our database. So this is a transaction for read write. All right, so this should be basically what we're looking for. All right, so we're going to go out and, oh, it's yelling at us because it wants to know what on earth we are talking about when we say boltdb. So we need to go up here and import that. All right, now we've got bolt going. Are going to compile. No. Too many arguments in return. Oh, because we're not returning here. That's just sample code. So here, I'll just do a log.fatal for now. That will be our placeholder. No results value expected. Okay. Reassigning to error. That already exists. We're going to change you to a log.fatal for now too. All right, so we've got our basic stuff. Our bucket, we're just going to have users. Now the question becomes, what happens if we try to recreate a bucket? Thanks for the follow, Kenny Ferris. So, okay. So I think we need to start pushing some of this. I know I said we were going to do it here is kind of spiking, but I can already see some problems that we're going to have. So we need to ensure that we only create this bucket once. So really inside of our database, we probably need to have our own type. And inside of that, we're going to have a DB, and that's going to be a pointer to a bolt DB, I'm guessing. Let's move this import over. I just want to wrap all of this up, abstract it from everybody who might be using it elsewhere in the project. So there we go. And then this produces what type? A pointer to a bolt DB. Okay. That's what we want. And then we can start we should probably even put this in its own package. But for now, we need this. An OS file mode and options. We're not going to give it options for now. So let's do file string mode os.file mode. And this will produce a database and an error. Let's pull this. Oops. And we're going to put that return right back. Return nil. And we'll leave the timeout here. All right. What are we yelling about? DB declared but not used. Yes, we know. Okay. Wrong number of return values. We want to actually return back. Okay. So now we have our logic to open the database, but we need to initialize it. So we want to initialize the database, create any needed buckets, ensure they don't exist first. So when we connect, so in case the database does not exist already, we're going to assume that it needs to be initialized. And so let's see, how can we get a bucket? Okay. So we have a create bucket if not exists. Okay, perfect. That is what we want. So we don't even have to do a check. Let's move over here and put that in. So we're going to do our oh, we need to return it here too. Return And this is our literal. Oh, and nil, because there is no error. Okay, so we're going to begin our transaction. That fails, we'll do that. Use the transaction. What are we throwing away? Oh, okay, it returns the bucket back. So we might be able to use that. So nil error. All right, so that's going to return back this wrapper, and then we're going to add all of our functions to that. Incoming fresh new buckets, old buckets do not apply. Brr. All right, what I think we should do is, well, we'll leave this for now. The thought is this is, oh, create bucket if not exist. Almost didn't change that. My thought here is that we might hold pointers to some of the buckets because I have the feeling we're going to use them a lot. We're probably also going to put a cache here. So I guess we'll see how this goes as we're doing this. So now we need to, well, first we need to initialize this. So I guess let's put a global database here. So we can refer to it as bot.database from everywhere. And that will allow us to initialize it here in this main function. This is the equivalent of our main. It's just done through Hugo, which allows us to have these subcommands. So we can set bot.database and error equal to, oh wait, are we in bot? No, we're not in bot. Bot, new database. And we're going to call this bot.db and 0600 if error not equal to nil. And we'll just log.fatal it. We really should probably do a fatal F. Wait, what's it? Error. Yeah, we'll do this for now. We'll clean up the how we handle this. All right, so we're opening the database in 0600, and now we have a pointer to it. We should, in theory, be creating a bucket. So now let's do something with it. So we've got this global here. Wait, invalid type. Oh, yeah. We're like reusing names. I really would prefer that to be DB, but that's not going to. Something like that. Initialization cycle. Oh, because it's shared. Oh, wait. There we go. Now when we call it, it'll be just be a DB. So now this can be bot.db. Okay. What we don't need. Oh, we forgot all of that logic. So inside of this, we never commit the transaction. Oh. Okay. Now we commit that. We return this back. Oh, this is of type database. We might abstract all of this out to its own package later, just to clean things up a little bit, but undefined tx, run.go line 30. Use the transaction. Oh, because of this. No, that should work. What are you talking about? Undefined TX. Line 30. Oh, on run.go. Because we didn't save that. Let me turn the volume down here too from our sound playing, and we can get some tunes going again. I forgot my headphones were way up. That was freaking loud. I'm gonna have to find a way to balance the sound between like music playing and the sounds that come in as part of alerts, but we'll figure that out down the road too. All right, so here's what I think we want to do. The first thing is I think maybe we should start registering users once we see a chat message from them. I think that will probably be a good way to start this. Yeah, okay. So in our database, we're going to need a method on this. Get user. And then we'll take their name. Let's take their ID. We want their ID. And I can't remember whether this, we're going to use string for now. We're introducing new types here too. So, all right, user, error. Let's go ahead and we're going to use that as a placeholder for now for any data that we want to store. Ooh, here's going to be a hard problem to solve. That's going to be as we upgrade these things, we're going to have to ensure that we don't make breaking changes. So if we marshal to something like JSON or something, or we could use it GOB, which is Go's binary format, we could serialize it, and as long as we only add new fields, we should be okay. So we're going to roll with that concept for now. Thanks for the follow, Anarchy Orchestra. Okay, so now let's go look at this logic. So where is our get bucket? There we go. Okay, so this tx bucket. This is going to be really repetitive here. So this is our users. And then inside that bucket, we're going to look for their ID. So let's see what we're getting back. Let's return just an empty struct literal and nil for now to get this to not yell at us. Let's go into our Twitch logic because we need to figure out what we're going to get back from Twitch. Let's just go pull up this on the Go's package documentation. Package.go. Oh, there we go. We're already there. Okay, so let's look on private message. Message. ID. Is the ID the user ID? No. We were already looking at that. Where's run? Now I forgot where we moved our stuff to. Twitch. Where's run? Oh, here we go. On private message. Channel. Message.user.id. Okay, so we'll use that. What type is that? It's a string. Okay, perfect. So we'll do the same thing. So, I don't know, ID, string, username, string. What other information do we have about them that we can... Wait, what am I missing here? Oh, because there's a parent message type. Now I'm super confused. Twitch.private message. That's what comes in. Where are we getting this from? Oh, because it's a method on there. Ah, okay. I was like so confused. So on our, let's just go up to the, it's easier to view this way. So if we go find our private message. No, let's just get type. Wait a second. Are we looking at the same docs? That's v2. So what am I missing? On private message, we get this private message type. That's the raw. This is the type. Okay. As expected. These are just tags. Is it tags that we're looking at? No. We're just calling .user on it. Where are you coming from? All right. Well, I mean, I guess we have a list of their badges and things like that too that we can work with. And the color. Ooh. So we might actually want to pass that up to our bot. Yeah, so we're going to do that later. When we start implementing the chat in the browser, we should do that. We'll start passing this information up. So we've got a name, display name. We'll save all of that on ours too. So we've got color, and we'll copy this over. This was a map string int. All right. Badges, map string int. All right, so this is the start of our user. So now what we need to do is on get user, let's just walk through this. When we first see your message, we're going to ask for your user, and we're going to send that up to the browser. But in doing so, we're going to do a couple of things. We need to, one, ensure the user exists to begin with, or else create. We want to give you some points for joining. We might want to move this logic elsewhere though, because what we may want to do some extra things like, you know, send alerts or something like this if this is your first time saying something in the channel or something. But for now, we'll keep all of this pushed down in here unless we have a reason that we need to pull it up. Okay. And yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, so we'll get our bucket. I don't like this. We've got multiple places this is hard coded. So let's const a slice? I don't know. We're going to find out. So now in theory, we should be able to just do why are you yelling at me? Oh, it might work. Yeah. I had the feeling we couldn't do that. Okay. So there's our user bucket, and then we'll do the same thing here. Now we want to get our user by their ID. Oh, that's right. Does it always produce? Undeclared name TX. What did I miss? Oh, this is supposed to be wrapped in a DB view. It's been, I don't even know how many years since I've used Bolt, but it's extremely useful for things like this, just a key value type thing. Okay. So we need and this just returns back bytes. So what we need is to JSON.unmarshal this. And we want to unmarshal it into user and return back the error if it has one. DB view undefined. Oh. That's going to get confusing being db.db, so let's do a bolt. And we're compiling. Okay, so the other thing we need to do is I'm guessing that this is going to be of 0 bytes length. If it does not exist, we're going to have to test that. I had to change a core data structure and been fixing tests all day. That does not sound like fun. We haven't even written tests for this, and I feel kind of ashamed about it. Let's see. What are we doing? We need to test our assumption about this and what happens. So I'm just going to print something out here. Let's just print out the length of V. And we're going to print also out the ID. What are you yelling about? Okay. So now what we need to do is on private message here, we need to also call bot.db.getUser, and we're going to pass it message.user ID. Oh, we need error. So this is just going to yell us for that. So let's just check if error equal to nil. I don't know. just going to return. You were just on it, Rocker Boo. Always clipping my failures. Okay, so this is going to return back our user. Do we want to... Oh, so at this point, we don't have any information about them. So we're going to have to make create separate. So this is going to return back. I don't know yet whether we want a reference to this or not. I guess we'll see when we determine how much we're tracking. Okay, so get user. I'm going to say if the length of v is 0, then we're going to return back an error that says user not found. We might actually want to define our own type for this so that we can check it, but we're going to go crude for right now, like always, to get our base implementation, and then we'll clean it up a little bit. All right, so if error is not equal to nil, we're going to assume that you don't exist, and we're going to bot. I like this better. Yeah. Let's do that. We are going to hide that. All right. We're just doing a little bit of refactoring here. Wait, why bolt.open complaining? Why are you complaining? Cannot use bolt. Value type as. Oh no, we want this shadow. Oh. What's showing stuff in chat? Okay, so let's see. Where do we leave off? So now we're creating this little DB thing in here. We're returning back a new database. That should work. So now we come back in here. We're going to get the user. They don't exist. We're going to create the user, and we're just going to pass it message.user. We're going to assume we're creating it based on Twitch, which is, I don't know. I don't know whether I like there being a dependency between these modules, but we may not be able to get around it here unless we just create our... I mean, we could map everything. Let's do it. We're going to create like circular dependencies if we don't. So here's what we got to do. We're going to pass a bot.user, and what do we have? ID, username, color, badges. All right, so ID. Display name. Same thing. Color. Wow. And then badges? Yeah. There we go. So this is going to prevent us from having a circular dependency. So just name. Display name. All right, so now we have this bot user type that's kind of abstracting away this coupling to the Twitch package. So now we need to I'm gonna move this stuff. Let's move this. No. We will move these user functions over. Because that'll get pretty big. All right, now we need a func create user, and that's going to take in a I guess it doesn't matter. We don't need a pointer to it. That's it. And then there. You had to pick a big project, Rockaboo. Nice. Okay. I don't know how far we'll get before I end the stream for today. I probably won't go too much longer, but we'll see whether we can get this like user logic created. Oh, we need points. We need points. We need a really big number too. Uint 64. We'll go big. And then in here, when we create you are a new user. I know, we are going to give you all of the points. I don't know. 25,000. Yeah, so U is unsigned. So if we just did int 64, that would be a 64-bit integer signed. And then uint is a 64-bit integer unsigned. Okay, so now let's take a look at Bolt's documentation here for storing in a key. Oh, so here's our put. DB update. All right. Whoa, what are you doing up there? What error do I have? Because it's not formatting. Whoa. Oh. So this is, we need this one. Return nil. We've got all kinds of stuff going on here. All right. Undefined. Database has no filter method update. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? Oh, because we need. So then, actually, what am I doing here? Because we don't really need this type. Because we're not wrapping it anymore. So we can do a pointer to boltdb directly. And then in run. Let's change this. Wait. We're going to hide all this away. So we're going to have bot init database. So basically at startup, we're going to try and initialize the database. And then here, we're going to try just change this to init database. We're not even going to return it. We're just going to return back an error. And we'll just hide all of this stuff away. There. And that means here, we'll assign to it directly. And if we made it to the end, it's interesting how designs change as you start getting a little further along. Something that you start out liking the little abstraction that you've designed, and then you start to hate it. There's a few of them I have here. Okay, so now we're just going to initialize the database. We're going to track it inside of the package, unexported, and then we can just refer to it when we want to. We'll call these methods, and okay. So the bucket is our user bucket. And then we're going to put this is their ID. And then we need to marshal the data. So JSON dot marshal the user, and that should return back a slice of bytes or an error. Oh, that was the same thing. I looked over Rocker Boo. I thought you asked a different question. We're going to return back the error if we fail to marshal. Some of these we might wrap later. Like, this is going to need some cleanup. But for now, we're getting there. We're getting something usable. We'll get it up to GitHub. We'll allow people to contribute to it. Okay. User line 19. Huh? What are we talking about? Undefined bolt. Oh, we're just not importing the package. Now we need to turn this into a factored import. All right. Now what else are we missing? What? Oh. We need to turn this into a byte slice in order for that to work. Everything in Bolt wants a slice of bytes. Everything. Line 24. Wait, cannot use type users type byte an argument to put. Oh, wait. We want B here. That's our slice of bytes. Huh? Oh, we shadowed it. Buff. I mean, I suppose we could just be more explicit. Bucket dot put, and then we can do buff here. DB bolt undefined type bolt DB has no method bolt. Where? Line 37. I think this is just an artifact of before. All right, yeah. Line 41, undefined. Why did not import fumped automatically? No new variables on left side. Line 73. These are declared and not used. Okay, that's fine. So I'm thinking in this user command that maybe we should pass a pointer to the user around. So we may need to refactor that too. But for now, let's check this. So let's just print out creating user and the ID of that user. let's try fetching user. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to run this, and then we're going to just say stuff, and we're going to see what happens. Oh, okay. Here's what happened. So we have this logic up here that looks for commands. And the question is, do we want a user created the first time they run a command? Or do we want them created whenever they say something in the channel? Let's make it when they say something in the channel. Because then what we can do is every time somebody says something, we can give them points. All right, so it said it tried to fetch me, but we did not return back an error. Interesting. I shouldn't exist, though. I should not exist. Oh, that's probably not a nice thing to say about myself, but... Okay, so something is happening here that we're not expecting it to. So in our get user logic, so we must not be returning back an error here. Let's see what the length is there. But there's also something slightly confusing here. So we actually... I think the issue is actually that this is working properly. But what happened is that this is returning back an error, and even this error, but that's from this closure here. Right? So this function, but we're never trapping whether or not dbView returns back an error, which is likely just passing this back. So really what we want to return back is u and the output of this, right? Oh no. No, let's make this clean. So we're going to set error equal to whatever the return value of that is, and then we want to turn back. We want to return back u and nil. No, and error. Now we should get back whether or not we exist. Wait, what? Delicious is coming back? Where'd you read that? Boom. We just had a user created. And we just had a user created. All right. So now if I say something again, it should just fetch me, right? Just fetching me. Perfect. So this is exactly what we want. So now we should be able to come in here. Oh, you go away. Now let's print my points. $25,000 points. And we restarted the bot, so we know that this persisted. And that is the start of our logic for points. So there you go with the alert. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I think every time. So now we need a method. So we need we need a function here that says give user points. And we need their ID, and we need the number of points that we want to give them. Do I like this? Or, so this would be the way we could call it, or we could just call user dot give points. Let's do that, because we're probably going to keep some sort of cache of users that we're currently working with. And I think that's going to be the best approach, because if we did it this way, we would persist the data, but the user that we're currently like hanging on to is not there. So let's add our cache too. Let's see. Let's actually, so here's what we're gonna do. We need a cache. So for now, we're just gonna do a var users, and we're gonna make a map string user. And I think we can initialize this, right? With can we just do this? I think we just do a literal here. Right? Missing return at the end of the line of function 56. Oh, okay. So here we go. You declared not used. Where? Line 47. Huh? Get user. What you talking about? Oh, online on Twitch. That's right. That's right. We're coming back to that. So here's the thought. So if we just call get user, we can check the cache first, right? We can say if users, wait, you, okay. Users, we're going to look for them by their ID. And then we're just going to return that. So if they're in the cache, just return it. You declared but not used. That's fine. All right, we're going to change you just so we can compile. So we're checking the cache first. If they exist in the cache, then we return them immediately. But if they don't exist in the cache, then we're going to do this. We're also going to users ID. We're going to store them in the cache. I kind of feel like we should be using pointers to this person now, because we're going to have some concurrency stuff going on eventually. So we have our cache, and I have this to do here, and we may be thinking, okay, well, we have the cache. We should remove the to do. I don't want to do that, because what I want to do is use an LRU cache. And what this will allow us to do is set to have a cache of a very specific size. So let's say if we're streaming for 10 hours, we're not keeping every user who said anything in the cache. We'll just kind of keep the people who are actively doing things, and then we'll go out and we'll bump people out who haven't said anything. So now we get to logic here where I'm just going to move this up near the type. Now let's do a user give points. Let's start using pointers here. If we need to, we'll add a mutex to the user so that we can lock and unlock whenever we do things. All right, that's going to be our give points. So now we actually need this should still work. Get user. It's going to now return back a pointer to a user. That's going to be we don't need the address of. That's already a pointer. Let's see what else we broke. Ooh, that's kind of scary because I feel like more should have broken. I do kind of like the idea of not being a pointer here, though. All right, so if we didn't break anything, that all works. We should have a cache now. Now, if we give user points, then we should... You know what? Let's start doing that. We're going to say lock. And we're going to do a sync mutex here. I guess we could do a read-write mutex. And so the first thing we want to do is grab our lock, and we're going to do a regular lock, and this is for writing. And the very next thing we want to do is u.lock.unlock, so that we ensure that when this function returns, we're unlocking that mutex. We will set points u.points equal to u.points plus points, and then we need to update the user. I guess that would be a create user still. Let's just call it update user. There's no such thing as create, so it's the same thing. And let's do a pointer. All right. So we set our points, and then we're going to, I guess, just return back the results of update user. Thanks, Frank. Oh, we got like red coloring going on in here still. We need to kick it back to some chill colors. I don't have the bot running. There we go. Okay, so now we have our update user logic, and in theory we have our user. Oh, I didn't do that, so let's print out the points. We're gonna spit out this display name. And we're gonna spit out their points. Oops. And now the other thing I want to do really quick so that we can test this logic, and then I'll probably wrap it up for the day because this will be a good start for our point logic. So we're going to change this to update user, because I suppose we could turn it to put, but, and we need to pass this by reference. Okay, so now what I want to do here is now if you say something in the channel, we're going to give you 1,000 points for everything you say. At least that's what we're going to start with. So that means we should spit this out every time. So if I say test, ooh, we got to panic. Valid memory address or nil pointer reference on line 57. Wait a second. Okay. So this could return back an error as well. So if this returns back an error, we legitimately want to return because we didn't manage to create the user. But the other thing that we need to do is, oh, cancel. The other thing we need to do is actually assign this value to something, because we need to reuse it later. So var u is a pointer to a bot.user, and we just assign it in here and pass it. Let's do a save. And then we can just do this. Ooh. Almost created a deadlock there. So really we shouldn't call this from anywhere. This should be used internally only. And then inside of our Twitch logic, we don't want any of this craziness. We're just gonna say u.save. Okay, I like that. So now, if we're not panicking, update user line 29, line 36. If we're not panicking, we should be able to keep saying stuff and getting points. All right. $25,000 points. And test again. Oh. That's not good. So this must be something to do with our cache.
The computer that we have running our news from time to time took off and went wild. So what we're going to do is start over from
Line 57. Line 57. Wait a second. Why would we get a stack trace there? I am confused now. Oh wait, no, line 62. So in here, So this is nil. Why are you nil? So we have you up here, which is a pointer to a bot user. In this particular case, we call get user, and you should be set. Oh. We are shadowing it. Right?
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I.
This might still be broken. All right, first time works. And we crash the second time. Why do we crash the second time? It says on line 64. It's always when we go to print it. Why? So in this particular case, we already exist. Right? Let's do a little debugging here. Creating user. Why are you creating me? I should already exist. And then the second time is when I crash. So it must be when it's not creating. Did we mess something up in our cache? All right, when we get the user, all right, so we're returning back the pointer to the user if they are there in the map. We're going to add some printing. Turning user from cache. I feel like I'm missing something silly here. I don't know why it's creating me, because I should already exist. So it's always when it's returning it from the cache. So this is nil somehow. Why is that nil? I want to see what's in there. Oh, I bet you somehow nil gets assigned to the cache. Yep, okay. So that's what we're doing wrong. Does if error, so I wonder if there's an error coming back here. That's my guess, is there's an error coming back here. Like user not found. And because the user's not found, we end up assigning nil to the cache because the default value of a pointer is nil. So that's what's happening here. Okay. We still have to figure out why every time I run the bot, I'm created. Okay, so creating the user. Still. I thought I figured it out. We're still storing nil in the cache. Oh, oops. If it's nil, then we do it. same error, wrong solution. Okay, so no more crash, but we're still wanting to create the user. Why? Why are we still wanting to create the user? Rockerboo with the alert. All right, so what is going on here? So I'm guessing this save is not happening. Let's see if maybe the save isn't occurring. It's the only thing I can think of right now. So save is not failing. Where, oh where is the problem? So we're printing out. Wait. So that's the number of points after. So we're always triggering this logic. Oh crap. Inversion here. If the error is nil, then we're going to create the user. Wait, no. It's not equal to nil. Let's just print out what the error is here. Oops. Nil bot user. So that makes sense, right? Oh, we also need to return from here, right? So where's our get? Get user looks in the cache. We're not trying to return it from the cache right now, which means we're going into DB view. Looking in the user bucket. Nil bot user. Oh, the default value of a pointer, the empty value rather, is nil, right? So nil was being passed into here. It wasn't actually getting an address to a user. Line 70. How about now? Testing. Please don't crash. Sweet. I'm gonna get rid of some of these debug messages while everybody's playing. But in theory now, you should be able to to the second you say something, you should get 25,000 points. And then every time you say something after that, you should get additional points. All right. Now the question becomes, if I shut this down, do we keep all of our points? And here goes nothing. Yep. So our points are persisting. We now have the ability. To collect points. And now here's where I hit you with something slightly different. I have this idea for the points so right now you can spend the points on, well, we can't spend them. That we'll work on that the next stream, because it's about 5 p.m. here and I'm freaking hungry. I haven't eaten all day. So I'm probably going to end here in a minute, but let's just kind of summarize things up. Here's this idea I have for the points. So I want my own economy. I want to be able to give people points. I want to be able to, if you chat in here, commands don't count. If you chat in here, you automatically get points. If people, people can give each other points, we'll come up with ways for that. But I also want to get the bot to join multiple channels. So if you participate in any live coders stream, like any member of live coders, or if you participate in like coworkers streams of mine, like Aaron and things like that, that you also collect points for this channel. Yeah, or raids, things like that, right? So I kind of want to, but the idea is that I want you to be able to collect points that you can use, not just for things you do in my channel, but things you do in other people's channels too. And I think that that's going to be really cool. So we have to figure out how to implement that yet. But first, I figure we should probably figure out how to allow you to spend these points. And we're going to have to start thinking about the config here and how we manage how many points you need to spend something. And we can probably introduce some stuff like, when did we last see a user, things like that. So, all right. I think it's about time I finish up. Did anybody have any questions? Did anybody want to play around with the lights for a minute more before we wrap this thing up? Oh, and we need to do our typical thing. We need to come in here and go to our wait, where is it? Okay, thanks, bye. And change that to true. And then I put it in your hands. Once I restart the bot, then I put it in your hands to end the stream. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'm looking forward to the next stream where we get to play with this. I'm going to have some other streams where I want to build like a online streaming platform. And, oh yeah, is super creative. Is it working? Hold on, let me see if somebody doesn't end it first. All right, it may work now. You can try your sound super creative again. Let's see. Oh wow, it doubles up. I heard it. We got to increase the volume, but it's there. So next stream, we'll work on spending points and maybe some more cleanup because we're starting to get kind of gnarly. We really need to get to documentation and testing because it's starting to get a little crazy. At some point, we need to commit this to GitHub so other people can work on it. Maybe we'll also work on the browser stuff, getting the chat going and UI being cooler. And then I have some other streams I'm going to work on where we'll start building like a video streaming platform. So with that, thank you everybody for hanging out. This is so much fun to work on. I can't wait to see where this is going. If you have ideas, feel free to reach out to me and we'll start implementing them. Thanks everybody. I'll leave it in your hands. First person to give a exclamation point, K thanks bye, gets the superpower of turning the stream off. Good luck to whoever wins. You get all the points. Rock or boo. K thanks bye. K thanks bye bye baby. And just remember, I have the ability to now say it too. Well, I mean, I have a button on my stream deck to end it too.